Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Elevating Your Life. We are going to elevate today. We have just an amazing guest to share with us some really valuable uh, ideas and words on something that, is something for all of us to hear. We have with us today Rosemary Vaswani, and she was born and raised in New York and Puerto Rico before making Los Angeles her home. Rosemary is an actress, author, and storyteller whose work explores love, loss, resilience, and reinvention. Currently recurring on Paramount's hit series Landman under her stage name Rosemary Dominguez. She portrays Isabel, a woman whose husband, son, and grandson are tragically killed in the series' opening episode. Rosemary has been writing and performing stories since her teenage years, from stage competitions to Los Angeles, the Right Club, where she shared new work at Improv Olympic in Hollywood, as well as true story at the Ensemble Studio Theater at Atwater Village. Her debut poetry memoir, When I Press Stop, a Memoir of Loss, is being released October 23rd. So exciting. It chronicles the heartbreaking loss of her husband while raising their teenage daughter. Told through lyrical poetry that unfolds like a novel, the collection offers a deeply personal yet ultimately hopeful exploration of grief, healing, and choosing life after profound loss. Oh, Rosemary, thank you for being with us today. I am really grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, and I'd like to start with, would you like to share a bit more of your background and kind of what drew you to write your beautiful poetry book about loss?
Yes. Well, I have written my whole life, but this was the first time where I felt very strongly that I wanted to get this book published. It was my husband died 4 years ago, and it was a very sudden, unexpected death from CJD, which is a disease where proteins in the brain misfold and cause this fatal disease that causes Alzheimer's and Parkinson's like symptoms. It's very fast. I would say we were told the day after Mother's Day, May 8th, and he died June 7th. So it was quick, and every day was as though I was witnessing a year in the life of someone with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. And my daughter turned 15 while he was dying. And it was something I've never experienced in my life, watching an illness unfold like that. And I was left kind of speechless at the end. And I felt that I needed to tell this story of what happened. And so many people didn't understand. They couldn't imagine how somebody could go from speaking one day to un unresponsive a few days later. So I decided I wanted to tell the story, and I tried to write it as essays, but it was so emotionally draining writing it in that format, and I couldn't get through it. And I had an incident where I had to pick up my tax forms, and when I saw the words signing for the deceased spouse, that sent me into this spiral of nonstop crying. And I mean, I had, it was like so much was coming out of me and I couldn't stop. And I remember at one point just grabbing a pen and a paper and writing what had happened, going into the office and then getting in my car and the crying and hearing the song on the radio that reminded me, that felt like my husband was talking to me. And so I wrote this poem called Signing for the Dead, and it was visceral, very raw. I shared it with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and my grief counselor, and everybody was like, "Wow, you need to keep writing." So when I was trying to figure out how to do this, my counselor reminded me, why don't you do it as poetry? You've been able to write about some of the events that occurred. So I sat down and for 40 days, it ended up being 40 days. I would sit down and I would think of an event during that month, and I would write about the last time that he took a walk outside when his legs just stopped working. He just was stuck, and I couldn't get him up the stairs, and my brother-in-law had to carry him up, and that was the last time he was outside. And then, I mean, there were so many lasts that occurred, and another one, sunflower oil, where he had poured a glass with sunflower oil thinking it was juice and left it on the counter, and then my daughter saw that, and I saw it, and it was so disturbing. And so all of these things, so I wrote about that, the crux of the book, within those 40 days. And then later I ended up adding poems about when we first met and when we had our daughter and when we moved to LA. And then I wrote about what it was like after he died and how my daughter and I found our way forward and what that was like. And then it got picked up by a small publisher, and it was also a semi-finalist in a first book poetry competition. So that was like bigger than anything I could have expected. But I'm just excited to have that book out in the world and for people to learn more about CJD.
Oh, what a gift that's going to be for us. I'm so excited because, oh my gosh, life can just be at this moment, and then you're in a whole different trail and things happening in your life that you had never
Yes.
even imagined. And you did not have much time with him.
No, no, and we never got to have that last talk that you might have with another illness. He did record a message for our daughter. It's an 8-minute message, and the doctor had told him make recordings, and the next day after we got home from the hospital, he recorded a message for her for everything you would want to hear as you're growing up and going through life's challenges. And I didn't tell her right away. I waited 2 weeks until we knew until we got a second opinion from a specialist. And that's when I told her. And I ended up playing the recording for her at that time,
Oh,
which I thought I was just very grateful that I had that, because at that point he could not communicate in a coherent fashion, and he could not have said all the things he said to her in that recording. So
what a gift that
yeah.
is for her to have. And
Yes.
how awesome of him to think to do that.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. And that's the kind of guy he was. I mean, he cared so much about us, and I just thought, my God, he's been told he has this illness, he would forget. But the fact that he had the wherewithal to think the next day, I want to make this recording, that's just incredible to me that he was able to do that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Um, and when we're so consumed by grief and loss, um, something you've shared, and it's actually something that I totally saw that and went, oh my gosh, you know, would my loved one want me to stop living? I mean, when I was 17 and lost my dear Uncle Ernie, I considered killing myself. I was so angry. He was gone. And then it was, what would he want me to do? Would he want? And that's a beautiful point. Share more on that. I mean, you know,
Uh,
get
yes, I
through that. How do I keep moving on?
yes. Well, I like to say that you move forward, right? Because if you move on, it's almost like you're forgetting about that person, and you can't. It's impossible to forget about them. They will always be with you. And I like to think of the analogy of you're in your car and you're driving, and the person that you lost, you look in the rear view mirror and you can see them. So it's like you carry that person with you. I mean, I feel that I carry him. Like I did my first trip. I was very afraid to do a real vacation to Europe after he died with my daughter. I was terrified. I thought I'm going to fall apart, and I did it. And we went on a cruise with she's like an adopted sister and her husband and son. And I remember thinking on that cruise that I had him with me, like, and I never cried, which was I couldn't believe it, and it's okay if I would have cried, but I just felt his presence with me, and I was so proud that we did this, that we're it's like saying, okay, life continues and we're going to keep engaging with life, and we're going to have these amazing experiences. I mean, we were with them in the cruise, and then my daughter and I went to Lake Como together, and that was like a bucket list dream of mine. And it was different, it was being just the two of us. And the last European vacation, it was the three of us in Italy. And so this was really special for me to feel like I had the strength to do it without him. And for my daughter to see that, hey, it's possible for us to do this together as a team, mother and daughter. And so that was something huge, that was, I just, I didn't tell people about it, that that's why I hadn't gone on vacation, but it was important. And we have celebrated. He just had a birthday uh in August, and we knew that his favorite thing was pasta bolognese. And my daughter asked me, "What are we going to do for Dad's birthday?" And she's also, I've done things, but she's also been the one throughout this whole time. It's been 4 years that will bring up, what are we going to do for this, or what are we, so she has moved forward in her life, but she remembers and she wants to acknowledge it just as much as I do. And so we ended up making his favorite Marcella Hazan's bolognese, and it takes hours on the stove. And the two of us kept going in and taking little bites, and I felt so close to him because I remembered what his pasta tasted like. And so that's I feel like that's like if we decided, no, we're not going to acknowledge the day, or we're not,
Mhm.
that I feel like it still lives in you. Your body knows that that's August 11th is the birthday. You can't erase that. So we're very much about leaning into those things.
I love that. And I mean, how wonderful to, instead of, I have to just forget and not think about it and let it go and not,
Mm.
well, or I'm carrying them with me.
Yes.
I feel them on my shoulders in the clouds. And I love the look in the rear view mirror. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have fun with that. I mean,
Yeah.
what a completely different world and feeling that can give us.
Yes. Yes. I look, there are times where I feel like the grief can be overwhelming. and it can come, but I know that if I try to push it away, it's just going to linger. So I let it come, although it's uncomfortable and there time, and I just feel like I don't want to be in this space, but I have to because it's also a reminder of how much I loved or love him, you know. So that's okay. And I have to remind myself this is a moment. It's not going to last. Okay, if it goes more than a day, then I know that I need to pick up the phone and call someone because I isolating myself is the worst thing I can do. Um,
Because
so
isolation would make it harder, wouldn't it?
oh yes, because when you do that, it's so much harder to come out of it because it's just you forget that there's this community of people around you and that you are going to get through this for the most part, I mean everyone's situation is different and I can't speak for everyone and I know people grieve in different ways and there's different types of losses but um I feel like just making sure that you reach out to your community or that you have a grief counselor. And I mean, I did um, a group therapy for a year for spousal loss, and I'm so grateful I did because most people, they see you, the death occurred, everyone goes back to living their life. But you're still left with how do I continue? How do I, and I remember in the beginning I kept saying, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the next month. How am I gonna get through the next 6 months? And I heard the phrase one day at a time. And I had to remind myself, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't anticipate what the first anniversary is going to be like or what his Father's Day is going to be like. And Father's Day was 2 weeks after he died, and that was not an easy one. But you handle everything as it comes. You don't. I try not to project what it's going to be like.
I love that. I love that. And there are healthy outlets for us, groups and even friends, family,
Yes.
being open to reach out to them.
Yes. I think I can't recommend writing enough. I mean, honestly, I feel like that was like putting an oxygen mask on. Just journaling, whatever you're going through, just getting it out on paper. I mean, I feel like if I was a painter, I would be painting as well. I mean, all of these things are just they just want to be expressed,
Yeah.
either through talk therapy with a friend or through some medium. Grounding is huge. I mean, I feel like my relationship to nature changed so much after my husband died. I just found myself spending more time staring at trees and just kind of getting lost in like this daze and just or
Yeah.
just like birds and all of it, I mean the beach every year for the most part, I think maybe one year we didn't, but every year for the anniversary of his death, we go to the beach to watch the sunset with his family and the cousins and it's a beautiful thing and I'm glad that that's become kind of like this tradition that we do and it's just very special.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And, that can, instead of, sadness, it can bring just feeling the love you have with them
Yes. Yes.
and the gratitude that they were in your life.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I my daughter's in college now, and I was talking to my brother-in-law today, and he said he had checked in on her, and he said, you guys did such a great job raising her. She is so mature and she's just a great kid and very loving And I just felt so grateful that my daughter got to have this foundation. I mean, yes, it's horrible that, she lost her dad right as she was turning 15, but they had such a close relationship. And for me, it was, I was never jealous of it. I was so happy that they had that because I felt, girls should have that strong relationship with their dads. It's so important. And I always think of that and how grateful I am that he was part of who she is today as well. I mean, she's 19 now, and I'm amazed, and she reminds me of him so much. She's like a little version of him.
Oh,
So,
adorable. And
yeah.
you have been such a gift to her in what you've shown and what you yourself are amazing in your going through this and then figuring out these steps and the ways to move forward and carry them with you. And that is such a beautiful message. These tools that you're sharing in your book to so many of us that go through similar things. Is there anything in particular that you really would like to share to someone that's like, right now, this is just happening. I'm still in shock. How do I move forward? What would you say to them?
Um, I would say be gentle on yourself. Also know that it will get better. There will be a day. I'm not saying that the pain of losing that person will go away because that pain will always be there, but you learn how to manage it and how to engage in life. And that's the most important thing is just knowing that there will come a day where, you'll be able to laugh, right? Or it's okay. I mean, grief is not linear. It's like it and the steps, that you go through after someone dies, they're not in order. So I would say just trust that wherever you're at is okay, and that just by engaging and taking care of yourself and making sure that you're, putting that oxygen mask on, doing whatever you can, that that just trust that you will continue. You will be able to move forward.
Yes. And you yourself going through those actual steps,
Yes.
climbing that stairway,
Yeah.
what you're able to share with all of us in your book, and what a gift, and when you the title, when I press stop, is that what did you mean by when I press stop? When I just say I can't move on?
It's actually something that Eric said to Sophie, and it's something that I share, that I gift, because I feel it's a gift that I'm gifting the reader. And so I can't tell you precisely, but know that I'm glad that I shared it. So that's all. And when you read it, you get to that part in the book, you'll understand why it's called that.
Understand.
So
Oh
it
my
has like a
God.
big meaning.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read it. My
Thank
gosh.
you.
Oh, we have about 3 minutes left in the show, Rosemary. What last messages do you want to leave us with today?
Well, um, I guess find a way to honor the person that you lost, and and figure out how to carry them with you throughout your life, and that's okay if you choose to do that, and that person, no matter what the circumstances were of how they died, that I personally feel that they want the best for you and they want you to continue to live a full life. And I don't know, that's what I believe. And I think it's really important.
Yeah. And and keeping them with us, remembering us. Myself, I I've lost several dear family members in my life. And there's times where I'm a cloud lover. I love looking at the clouds. Sometimes I see one that's an angel, one's a dog. But sometimes it's like I can just feel everyone with me.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking of them. And they're with us thinking of us, aren't they? And that
Yes.
what that can do for us to feel that and to be open with that can
Mhm.
really make a difference, can't it?
It has made all the difference for me, really.
Yes. And I love you sharing, we can celebrate their birthday and them every year. We can, do those types of things. And, that can go on forever. And they're not with us in one form, but they're with us. And boy, that is a powerful message, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Mhm.
Oh, Rosemary, your book. Everyone, it's gonna come out October 23rd. When I Press Stop, a memoir of loss by Rosemary Vaswani. And I look for that. And one more real quick question. Do you see yourself writing another book?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh,
This has opened up the floodgates. So I'm definitely I have an idea for the next one. It's cooking, but I'm not gonna say it yet. But
okay.
I'm excited, and it would be the most logical next book for me to write. That's where I will leave it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm so glad I asked. I love it. Oh, everyone out there, thank you for joining us. Love, hugs, and blessings. Rosemary, thank you for sharing your beautiful story and your messages with us. Love, hugs, and blessings.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.